Okay, in this video we're going to show how we can cut this little ledge inside of this piston here. So right now the program is made to just kind of cut both the left and the right side, and that's just not going to work very well. We want to cut this whole surface. We want it to be a nice, smooth, flowing toolpath. So let's go ahead and see what we have here right now at the moment. Let's open up chains to machine, and there are 3 chains here, one for the left, one for the right, and I guess this is kind of for the middle, which the tool can't even fit in there. So we're going to go ahead and just erase all of these. Okay, and now we're going to bring up the tool chain select. I probably could select a face, but I think it's easier just to select one of these edges right here. Okay, and then I'm going to use what's called, okay, so first off I'm going to come down here to chain and then click on modify the active chain. So the one that I just selected here, I'm going to modify it. And I'm going to bring this down to go to connector line. Now what a connector line does is it allows you to select geometry that does not exist, usually in the form of just a simple line. So what we wanted to do is to connect kind of this face and this face over here. So we're going to just click right here and click over here. And then the same thing on the other side, from right here to right here. And so these lines that we're putting in here that we call connector lines, those will allow the software to chain all the way around. Okay? So let's go ahead and do the same thing over here. Let's just click right here, and right here, and right here, and right here. Okay, so that's looking good. So now what I can tell, what I know, let's go ahead and just hit OK there. Okay. Now when we first selected this, for whatever reason it decided that to change this to outside. We're going to have to change this to the inside. And let's see what we get there. So that's looking closer. Now we have one chain that's kind of like this whole area, but it's still not perfect. This should be green and it shouldn't have these little weird triangles in it. And I can tell what it's doing is occasionally when it tries to chain around, instead of following the connector line, it's actually going to go down these edges here, which are kind of part of the original chainable areas. So let's go ahead and change that. We're going to bring our page back up, click on the chain that we created, and select modify chain. Then we're going to say remove, and we're going to remove these. So it doesn't actually remove those in the model or anything like that. It just tells this particular toolpath that we don't want it to go down and chain down these lines here. So we'll get that one and then this one. Okay, there we go, and now it's green, right? That's what we're looking for. It's green, and you can see the areas that we have selected there. So we can compile that. Still not quite going to work. Well, it's not going to do what we want yet, and that's because the tool's too big to like feed in to cut this area out. So now we just have to come over here to the starting chain and select where we want it to start from. So we'll change this over to manual chain, and we're just going to manually pick off some of these lines here. Now, I think we can actually select our connector line here. So maybe it's a little bit hard to select, but there's something like that. All right. Let's turn off the 3D face here. That should make it a lot. Yeah, there we go. That's going to help a lot. Okay, so this last one here. So now this tells us basically where the tool is going to start feeding in from. So now we'll go ahead and compile that, and that's kind of what we're looking for. All right, nice, smooth, flowing toolpath, and you can see it's going to start from the inside and work its way out to the perimeter. Okay, so that's good. One other thing, this is probably aluminum, so it's a fairly soft material. Actually, no, I don't know what this is. It might be something like titanium. Actually, I don't know. So what you might want to do is change the pocketing to constant tool engagement, and this will change the pattern of the toolpath to give you an even nicer kind of toolpath that does what's called constant tool engagement. And that means that the tool is always going to take a consistent bite of material. So when it goes into corners and things like that, it really changes the shape of the toolpath. In order to get in there, it always take a consistent amount of material. And this leads to nodes like chirping in the corners and less possibility of breaking the tool, less wear on the tool, and it's just easier on the machine as well. So anytime you can use constant tool engagement, that's recommended. Okay, and I think that pretty much explains what we're trying to do here. Thanks.